I do or not. I don't look. I like newspapers.
I know. I get
Me
the
and-
Wall Street Journal
and-
too.
Oh. Everybody have a good weekend?
Yes, sir. How about you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Didn't do anything. It was great.
Right. It's nice to not do anything. I went to play golf on Saturday. I got my game back.
Oh, good for
Oh,
you.
that's
It appeared, but next time we don't know what's going to
We
happen.
don't know.
We
No,
just
you never
don't
know.
know.
I haven't played. I hate it.
We just have you been back, Annie? What?
Not
No?
a lot. Maybe
Insurance
once.
of
Once.
Michigan and the Food Bank Council of Michigan.
I could have gone this weekend, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm Dick
Sometimes
Hickner,
it's
WJR News. And now,
Yeah.
Paul W. Smith.
The Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760 WJR.
Good Monday morning to you. Hope you had a great weekend and you're ready to hit the ground running as we are this Monday, August 24th, the 237th day of 2020, with 129 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. And Denise Wells says, good morning. It's the last week of August. Yay!
No.
No. Denise, where are we headed, Denise? And what does the nephew say about all this? We know what Denise says. We need the nephew. But anyway, I hope, ladies and germs, it was a good weekend and you got some things done or nothing done whatsoever. I guess I was kind of in the nothing done whatsoever.
That's okay.
Pretty much. Dick Hafner is coming by eventually.
Is he the dot?
He
Is he
should
the
be
dot?
there. We just
Yeah,
can't
We
see
are
him.
here audio-wise.
There we go.
The voice of Dick Hafner.
Oh, boy.
So Dick is here, our WJR News Director, Dana Clark, checking traffic, weather, opinions here and there. Brian Morton is in the Golden Tower of the Fisher Building, running all the controls. We are all in our home offices. Kim is still toes up.
Good for her.
I got out of bed, did not wake her up. I was proud of myself. Oftentimes she's already up when I get up. So meanwhile, our executive producer, Ann Thomas, standing by,
Good morning, Deb. Happy Monday.
sitting by. Happy Monday to you. What took place besides storms coming and riots in the streets of Detroit again? Is it because they don't understand what's going on, or are they rioting, protesting, whatever they were doing? I don't know which was which. I can't delineate between them, but they're all upset about Operation Legend, the initiative we've discussed a number of times with those involved. It's to address increasing gun and gang violence in cities across the U.S., which includes Detroit. Very legitimate concern. This is not sending in federal troops to clash with protesters. That's just not what it is, although some reason or another, people keep thinking that's what it is. Frankly, there's probably been a program like this in place with the federal monies and federal help trying to fight crime in a lot of major cities, including Detroit, for quite some time now.
For years. The protesters don't realize that in various administrations, Democrat and Republican, there have been programs in place in Detroit and the other big cities very close to resembling Operation Legend. And they haven't discovered that conspicuously until the political campaigning started.
How unusual.
Yeah.
So this too shall be politicized, and we'll see what the story is. Governor's coming on a little later this morning. We'll talk with the governor about a lot of things to catch up with. You think the gyms and movie theaters will be open?
Yes.
Oh, you do? Oh.
Isn't that kind of interesting, though, considering at least in the Biden campaign, they're running the idea that he could shut us all down completely again, the entire country, if we don't get a grasp in their words, on the COVID. The COVID.
The COVID.
Like the gout.
The gout. Yeah, I like it.
We don't get
The
a
COVID.
handle on the COVID. We're going to go shut down altogether again, which would mean, of course, movie theaters, gymnasiums, well, everything again. I don't know. Is that going to happen? Don't know. But I can tell you it's Monday, August 24th at 5:43. That much I know.
This report is brought to you by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
Here's another thing I know. We've got our WJR traffic and weather first, and that means Dana Clark is ready to go.
Traffic First, sponsored by Guernsey Farms Dairy. For 80 years, Guernsey has been a Detroit tradition. They are excited to announce their newly remodeled restaurant dining room will be open this Wednesday. Enjoy great food, drinks, laughs, then visit their ice cream parlor and store, Guernsey's award-winning ice cream, milk, and lemonade. For more info, visit GuernseyFarmsDairy.com. 94 eastbound between Cashew and Moross, 2 lanes are closed. The pavement buckled. It was so hot over the weekend. Only that left lane is open. That is expected to be repaired by 3 p.m. on Tuesday. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by Gordon Chevrolet. Gordon Chevrolet, where not only do you pick your payments, but now pick your program. Need to pull ahead your lease? Do you need GM employee pricing or a low payment with 0 interest? Let Gordon Chevrolet help you find it on Ford Road, just west of Merriman in Garden City. GordonChevrolet.com. Gordon Chevrolet, find new roads.
Going to push in a rain threat today and maybe tonight, and then some slightly cooler weather tomorrow. Sunshine, a fade behind overcast with isolated showers, thunderstorms this afternoon, 89. A few scattered showers and thunderstorms tonight with a low near 70 degrees. Tomorrow, an isolated thunderstorm early, then some sunshine with a high near 86. For our Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic on News Talk 760 WJR.
Thanks, Ray. 5:44. Rush Limbaugh, Monday through Friday, noon to 3. And he stops by first thing in the morning, like right now. Rush.
Well, at their low-rated convention last week, Democrats used an 11-year-old crumb cruncher to slam President Trump's immigration policies. The girl read her emotional letter accusing the president of ripping families apart because her illegal immigrant mother had been deported. But the few people who watched this propaganda didn't get the real story. The child's mother entered the country illegally in 1998. She was caught at the border and deported back to Mexico. She snuck back over the border again illegally and laid low till she was caught at a traffic stop in 2013. It was the Obama regime that determined that the mother should be deported. Homeland Security followed through in 2018. So these asinine liberals should be accusing Barack Hussein Obama of ripping families apart. But that doesn't fit the narrative. Now, in addition to using this 11-year-old to lie about President Trump, the Democrats have released an ad. It accuses Trump of saying immigrants are not people, that they're animals. It's another brazen lie. President Trump was talking about members of the vile street gang MS-13, a gang that regularly preys on immigrants. The truth is, the liberals support lawlessness, criminality, and chaos. And not only when it comes to illegal immigration. Look at Portland, look at Seattle, look at Chicago, look at New York City. That's who the liberals are. And that, my friends, is no lie.
Rush Limbaugh, noon to 3 today, right here on WJR. I saw, what was it, 60 Minutes or CBS Sunday Morning? I check those out as often as I can. It did a thing on Vanna White. And how long she's been doing a Wheel of Fortune and how much she loves her job and all of that. Do you know that they tape 4 days a month?
That's it?
Wow. 4 days a
Great
month.
Great job. Wow.
Millions of dollars, 4 days a month. That's my kind of work.
I'm available when she has to retire because I would love to do that job. And Ron, I went to Birmingham, Springdale golf course, just a 9-hole. That's about all I can do. So just answering Ron Becker's question.
Who also points out Dick is behind the sign. You're not noticed the man behind the sign.
He's having
Still
internet,
having
I think an
problems.
internet issue of some sort this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, it's interesting in that protest, of those arrested, only 18 people were actually from Detroit.
Yeah.
The rest were from outside the city.
I don't know what, unless they're truly shipped in or paid to be there or whatever it is. I don't quite get the connection.
Yeah.
I don't know. That is really interesting, though.
But they're protesting something that doesn't exist.
I know.
They're protesting these federal agents coming into our town and taking over. The whole time that they were allowed to use their story that these unmarked police came in, it said very clearly on all of their uniforms, police. What other markings do you need? Police from
Right.
Toledo, police from, what do they need? It's police. That's what they are. That's not unmarked. That's like stormtroopers, but that's not even what we're talking about here.
I know. It is true. They're not even, these officers
They're
are
not
going to interrupt the protests at all.
They're not there for that. That's not what they're there for.
No.
So
we should just be lucky this morning that we don't have a hurricane coming at us in the
right.
middle of a
Let
pandemic.
alone two of them.
Or another earthquake. Did you guys hear about that in
Yeah, I
Michigan?
didn't.
Yeah, my mother felt it.
Did she?
did.
Yeah, she was in Monroe, and she
That's where it was,
absolutely
right?
said it's right there in Monroe. It was,
So what did she feel? Did she describe it?
she said? I feel the earth move.
Move under my feet.
That's my mother. She just said she felt it. In fact, when I called her, she answered the phone. I felt it. I felt it.
He's hilarious. She knew that's what you were calling about.
Well, it's not exactly what I was calling about.
And you're like, felt what?
Then I was
mother?
afraid to ask.
Right.
You felt what, mother?
Right.
I'm still your son, even
That's
if you're
right.
94 and I'm
You're
not.
hearing the Paul W. Smith Show. News Talk 760.
Oh, gosh.
WJR.
Well, Michigan coronavirus or COVID-19 cases up to 96,792. The death toll now stands at 6,393 and more than 72,000 recoveries confirmed. Interesting. Among other things, we'll speak with the governor about a little later. If she says, and I suppose she has statistics for this, that most people in Michigan believe what she has done has helped save thousands of lives.
I agree with that.
Imagine the shutdown we had, and we still had nearly 100,000 people get the virus. So, in the end, she's got to feel somewhat vindicated. Whether that means anything or not, I don't know if people will ever if those who didn't think we should be shut down, I don't know if they'll ever come around and say, well, I guess maybe we should have been shut down. And those who always thought we should be shut down probably are concerned when one of the other headlines I've got to go through with her is the fact that she's considering opening it up again, altogether. So it's a can't-win situation one way or another. Indy 500 took place. Unfortunately, no fans were there. And I don't know, Takuma Sato outdueling Scott Dixon. Would you check in? Is Scott on the Penske team? I don't even know. This was Roger Penske's first Indy 500.
I don't think he is.
He isn't? I don't even know.
I don't think so.
I meant to look that up to see what Team Penske was, because all the information I found with the lineup of winners, not one of them mentioned what team they were driving for. And so therefore I didn't find the best information.
Scott is with Chip Ganassi Racing. Ganassi Racing.
Yeah, he's with Chip Ganassi.
And the winner is with the David Letterman team. Rahal Letterman, was it Lanigan?
With Bobby Rahal.
Bobby Rahal, David Letterman, and the least known of those two guys, or the three guys, is this Lanigan. The least known to me at this point. So we got a lot going on. as it's been pointed out, we start the last week of August. Is that unbelievable?
Unbelievable.
And the
Seriously.
convention starts tonight.
Yes, the RNC.
Yeah, I've got to set my system up to record that like I did for the Democrats. Although I watched the first night and the last night mostly, but none of them all together.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the first night all of it, but I'll try to do that again on this one. It's going to be different, that's for sure.
Yes. And I think the timing is the same, though, right? I think we
Yeah,
have 9 to 11.
I
And
think 9 to 11 on the cable channels, Fox certainly, maybe not CNN.
I
And
think all of the cables 9
They'll
to
show 'em.
11, and then the big
Yeah.
networks 10 to
10
11.
o'clock, 10 to 11. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it'll be interesting if they do it kind of the same way, or, if they have a moderator. That'll be interesting to see.
It's
Or
not
if they're
going to be a little different. It's going to be
Okay.
a lot different.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot
okay.
different.
Lot
It's going to be.
different.
Well, I can't imagine they'll have celebrity MCs unless they
Right.
thought that was a great idea. I didn't see a lot of
Yeah.
positive feedback on that, but I'm not paying attention the way they should be. They certainly should have learned lessons from what wasn't good.
Mhm.
And I'm not here to sit and make that judgment call. What wasn't good, what was good, and they certainly should refute any false or incorrect information that was given, or not only given, repeated often,
Mhm.
which is what they do in politics on both sides. So they should refute what they can and also show the good things, the positive things that they did accomplish. That if you just watched the Democrats, you would have felt that nothing good had happened and that none of this was affected by COVID, other than the president didn't react fast enough or whatever. But they didn't even pretend that it was COVID or anything else that caused the great shutdowns that mostly Democrats decided to do with their states, which of course affected the economy. You can't separate the two. You can be upset with the way this whole thing came down, and I would be certainly, not only with Washington and the administrations before this one that didn't stockpile a bunch of goodies, but I would be, I don't know, I'd be concerned with the CDC. I'm certainly concerned with the Worthless Health Organization and all of the different groups that actually were put into business, put into reality to prevent this sort of thing. This was it. Everything else has been a rehearsal. This was it. And they failed miserably.
There was something missing entirely at the Democratic convention, which I'm going to guess, will be front and center at the Republican convention. Of course, the obvious thing is Trump, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the problems, the protests, and the riots that have gone on in American cities.
Yeah, totally ignored.
It was not mentioned during the convention.
Well, what was mentioned,
of the Democrats.
What I saw was how happy they were. There were so many peaceful protests. People standing up.
Protests, right?
Yeah, there were peaceful protests, but no mention of the other. Which, by the way, I'm sure that a lot of people who don't watch anything other than CNN or MSNBC haven't seen the footage either of the kind of rioting, looting, and damage that was taking place elsewhere. That was pretty much ignored on the national scene with the institutional media. You'd go to Fox and you'd see it, and you'd expect them to be featuring that sort of thing. But the reality is that is news, and the other networks really kind of ignored it. Meanwhile, it is 5:56 at WJR.
This report is brought to you by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice: continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
Let's check it. Our WJR Traffic and Weather and Dana Clark.
We have a closure along 94 eastbound between Cashew and Maross. Your right two lanes are closed due to buckling pavement. It was that hot. Only the left lane is open. That is expected to be repaired by 3 p.m. on Tuesday. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by North Bloomfield Properties. If you're looking for a place to call home, let North Bloomfield Properties find the best place for you and your family. They also provide pre-screened quality tenants to their property owners. They love to match good people to good homes. Contact them today, northbloomfield.com. We are expecting things to really heat up around here. Sunshine this morning, then could see a scattered thunderstorm or shower this morning. That's going to happen between noon and 8 p.m. A high of 89. That humidity is on the rise too tonight. Few clouds, a stray shower or thunderstorm possible. Your low 71. More heat on Tuesday, a little better though, a high of 85, scattered thunderstorms in the morning, then partly cloudy later, and we hit 85 again on Wednesday. Clear skies, 71 degrees. I'm Dana Clark, WJR News with Dick Hafner in about 2 minutes. So Paul W., I listened to the Piketown Massacre.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a true story.
I think Brian did
It's
too.
true. Well, I walk, so I listen to some of everything on Spotify.
Explain how this works to me. Is it one show or is it
It's
a series
4.
of shows?
It's 4. I listened to 2 yesterday walking, and I'll finish the other 2 today. But it's a town in Ohio, a very rural town.
Which is why I said I sure hope you're not trying to sell your real estate in Piketown.
Right. So it's good though, and it's not good what happened. But
No,
it's just a recount.
I'm so
of,
glad
Well, hey,
a massacre in a town.
you never
wasn't
know.
really so good, but it was a great show.
Yeah, I like how, the process of figuring out who did it, what happened, so I listen to it since I hear it every day on here.
In that respect, it's probably very similar. I can't remember what the show is, but Kim always has a show on at night. It seems like everything bad always happens.
Yeah.
And there's this wrinkled up guy who's been around forever with white hair, and he's very wrinkly, and he always likes. And why do you think he took her to that restaurant?
Right. Right.
I give the guy credit. I can't think of his name. He's well known, but anyway. I give him credit because he asks those questions as if he really cares and really is.
Yeah.
And then she went down into the basement.
And then what happened? Yeah. So anyway.
So, but that sounds like it's that kind of show, which obviously is successful and popular. Only this is being done on a podcast.
Right. Yes.
So I won't ask you what happened because you've only gone to 2 episodes of 4.
It's only 2 of 4.
We know it was something bad.
It was something very bad.
Well, you're starting off with the name, the Piketown Massacre.
Yeah.
Gives you
Kind of a hint.
an idea.
Yeah.
So everybody's talking about the police officer who's got a police dog on their leash, and another dog in its yard comes through and chases down the police dog, and the officer isn't able to hold. It was a woman or a man police officer, I don't know, his or her dog away from the dog behind the fence. The dog behind the fence grabs the police dog by the schnozzle, only the what do you call it? They put over a dog so they don't bite people. The muzzle. So they right on the schnozola, the nose, but the muzzle is there, and the police officer pulls out her gun and shoots the other dog.
What?
And it's on video. And if you want to know something that's going to get a lot of play today, it's going to be that video.
For sure.
And it's going to be people up in arms that this officer. Well, first of all, the officer couldn't control their own dog. Couldn't pull the dog back from the fence. It's a police dog. It's supposed to be, you're supposed to talk to it and it's supposed to know what to do. I also understand the police officer thinking of that dog as her police partner. And if it were a guy down there getting his face bitten, she might pull the gun and shoot the other dog too. She did it when it was her dog that she should have controlled, or his dog. And controlled it, and it's going to be a mess.
But it says here, I'm just looking at this story, Deb.
Yeah.
And it says department officials say the officer acted according to protocol.
Oh, really?
Right. As if there's a protocol for when your dog's being bitten in the muzzle because you let your dog stick its nose into someone else's yard through a fence where the dog that's owned by the person who owns that yard is merely behind that fence and barking at the dog like dogs bark at dogs.
Right.
And it's interesting. They say they treat the dog as the officer's partner.
It's an officer's partner. I understand that part, but and that'll be admirable that she reacted that way and saved the partner. But the point is, they didn't. He or she should have kept their dog away from that fence, or at the very least pulled it back as soon as it got there. Not pulled out the gun and shot the dog. That was maybe at that point, that's all that could be done, they think, or she thinks, or he thinks, or whatever. But I can tell you this, that's not controlling your dog, which is really like controlling a weapon. If you want to use all of the thoughts behind something like this, the one thought that she's protecting a partner, and the other thought is you got to keep control of your weapons, and that dog is a partner and a weapon.
So their side of it is that the dog had peeked into the fence because that's where they thought that the suspect was.
It's a completely see-through fence. You didn't have to stick your it's just rods,
like
so everybody could see through the fence.
Yeah,
it's not like this dog found a little hole that nobody else could see through and stuck his face in there.
Actually, they were looking for the suspect's illegal weapon.
Right, in that area. In that area.
It says, they had believed it had been tossed into that yard.
You know what? They can come up with as many reasons as to why they were there. The reality is someone didn't control their police dog. And now somebody said in one of the things, well, they should keep their dog in their own yard. They did. The dog that got killed was in its own yard, fenced in.
I guess they thought the dog was going to pick up the gun, right?
There you go.
I don't know.
I didn't look at it like that, but
I
that's
don't know.
possible.
I don't know. It's just crazy.
Trigger happy.
Checking my column.
That'd be a good thing to ask the chief if he's able to join us today or tomorrow.
I don't know that we're going to hear from him today. I didn't get anything back.
They say that the Republican convention that President Trump is going to be like
every
front
night
and center every day.
He'll be the celebrity MC.
right.
Who cares about that Louise Dreyfus?
Right.
That Seinfeld person. Who cares about her? I'll be hosting.
Right. His whole family is going to be there talking, except baby Barron. So everybody else.
Barron is now taller than his dad.
Is he?
He's shot up, man.
Wow.
He's in high school.
Wow.
He's big. He's really tall. Police used tear gas during arrests of protesters downtown Detroit. This came out of nowhere again, you know?
What was it like last night? Was there any trouble last night?
I don't know. You can't tell with the footage being used. It looks like what I saw Saturday, so I don't think they did it again last night. I don't know. I haven't heard or seen, but I think it was just...
Now, here's a terrible story.
Oh, good.
Here's a terrible story from Monday. Woman found alive at Detroit funeral home after being
I heard that one.
Paul W. Smith Show, News Talk 760, WJR.
Good Monday morning to you. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you didn't wake up at a funeral home and have someone say, wait a minute, you're breathing. Yeah, I know. Why am I at a funeral home? Never mind. Get her back to the hospital quick.
Right.
Anyway, Monday, August 24th, the 237th day of 2020. There are 129 days left in the year. Make each and every day count. Each day is a gift. It's PJ Monday.
Yay!
I sleep in a PJ, a t-shirt. I have a t-shirt that I wear when I go to bed, and it's the only long sleeve t-shirt I have. And because I keep the bedroom pretty cold, or we do, instead of having my arm outside frozen, this keeps me warm. That's my explanation, and I'm sticking to it. We've got the team together. Dick Kafner is the man behind the logo. He's hiding behind WJR Control 1, WJR. Dana Clark, very visible. Dana at her house. I'm at my house. Ryan Morton's at his house. It just looks like the Fisher Building. And of course, that's where Ann is, too. Not at the Fisher Building, but at her house. Ann Thomas, our executive producer.
Good morning, Deb. Happy Monday.
We were in the middle of the conversation about a woman who is pronounced dead, is then transported to a funeral home, and somebody, thankfully, as they had her there in the funeral home, said, there's something odd about that body. It appears to be breathing.
And it's warm.
And what else, Ann? What else happened there?
I don't know. I'm just seeing this come in, Dub, and I don't know much else other than I imagine, as you point out, she was taken directly back to the hospital.
Yeah.
She's only
What
20 years
hospital?
old. She's
Annie,
only.
what hospital was this, please?
Well, I don't know if it was a hospital that. I don't know where she was.
Where she was coming from.
Or where
she came from her home
She came
to
from
the
her home
James
in
Cole
Southfield.
Funeral Home, and then reportedly to a hospital, but we don't know which one.
Okay, so
and now she's back alive in the hospital.
She's only 20 years old, and they said she was in cardiac arrest.
okay.
Oh boy.
And inside her home, they said family called 911. Southfield fire crews responded. And after that, they said she was not
There's
breathing.
There's a lot of finger pointing. There's a little of this going on. The fire department said this, and the EMT said this. And, they'll have to get this all figured out.
Oh man.
I wish them all well. I'm just glad they found her before they started to embalm her.
Right. Oh gosh.
That's the worst time to find out someme's still alive.
That's like your worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Well, one of my worst nightmares, but I have a few. I have a few.
Yeah.
A 20-year-old suffering a heart attack suggests that there's something more going on here that's out of the story.
I wasn't going to say that,
But it's
but
true.
I'm glad you did.
Yes, but he's right.
The coffee is especially good today.
I agree.
Because
On
you made
Monday.
it. You made it yourself, didn't you?
I did make it myself. Kim is still toes up, and I bet I slept this much last night.
Sundays
That
into
much?
Mondays are tough.
Sunday into Monday, you keep looking at the clock, absolutely certain you're going to sleep through it.
Yes.
I have 2 alarms, and it'd be a miracle to sleep through it, but I still am listening for the phone and going, get over there, get to we're on the air. Luckily, that hasn't happened.
And that's a separate nightmare, right?
Another one of my nightmares. The other one has to do with submarines and being underwater.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or without a submarine. It's a lot of different things. You name it, I've got a nightmare for it. But anyway, all in all, it was a great weekend, weather-wise and otherwise. Now it's going to be really very hot, very summer-like. As Ann said in the beginning, we should be thankful and prayerful that we aren't having a hurricane, let alone 2 of them coming our way. That's just crazy. That's crazy. I saw a great video last night talking about how global warming has been the concern. Then they realized they couldn't call it that, so now it's climate change. And some guy showed thousands of years on a map, and it's just so much the same. For thousands of years, we've gone through these cycles, and we're in a cycle. Thousands. That's what they say.
Try billions with a B.
All right, billions of years. I just wanted to cover when you and I were around, Dick. So thousands of years.
Thousands, yeah.
So billions of years, and the cycle's exactly the same, no matter where we were as a society. And so we're about to enter into the cooling time. So it's going to be cooler than normal.
Those cavemen just had big fires going, didn't they?
Big fires and nice
time.
fur coats. Unfortunately, their fur coats still had heads on them with jaws and teeth.
That's another thing, though. How about those fires in California?
Yes.
That's another issue.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
On top of the pandemic, you got to worry about a fire coming towards your house.
All the things.
Destroying
All
everything.
the things from the mosquitoes causing trouble with West Nile and 3E or whatever. What else for 2020?
We don't want anything else.
It's like trying to escape 2020, getting out of 2020 alive.
Right.
Truly. Right now, the effort.
Truly.
So I don't know. But We have lots to be thankful for. And
Yes.
if all of us, myself included, would remember to take time to be grateful for all the things we really have to be grateful for, we'd be better off.
I'd say the top
There's
of the
no
list is
question.
Michigan
It
weather.
would be good for all of us.
Michigan weather is the top of the list. This summer has been absolutely beautiful.
It has. It really has.
It has indeed. It's something that we should embrace and enjoy and care about as we do. We're going to talk to Bud Denker. They had their Indy 500. Last minute switch. I think Scott Dixon was ahead for a 111 laps, and he got beat in the last seconds by the clock and other things. Mary Kramer's coming up at 6:18 with us, and Jeff Sloan will be here. The governor will be at about 7:18, and we really believe that she will be here at 7:18. Laura Cox, Michigan Republican Party chairwoman, will be here to talk about the Republican National Convention getting underway tonight. Find out what she knows and what she can tell us. And a lot more happening on a busy Monday, August 24th. We're so glad you're with us via the internet, social media, 760 on the AM dial, WJR. We're just happy to be with you at 6:13.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. If finding a high-impact hire is a serious goal for your business, use Indeed. Their flexible payment options mean better bang for your buck with no long-term contracts. Indeed will even give you a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post at Indeed.com/high-impact. Terms and conditions apply.
We have it at just about 6:14, our WJR Traffic and Weather first. Miss Dana Clark.
Still accident-free out there, Paul W. Seeing a 30-minute delay. That's just for trucks across the Blue Water Bridge westbound between Canada and the U.S. 94 eastbound between Cashew and Moross. Your right two lanes are closed because of buckling pavement. Only that left lane is open. That is expected to be repaired by 3 p.m. on Tuesday. Now, WJR Weather first from the Weather Channel, sponsored by North Bloomfield Properties. If you're looking for a place to call home, let North Bloomfield Properties find the best place for you and your family. They also provide pre-screened quality tenants to their property owners. They love to match good people to good homes. Contact them today, northbloomfield.com.
Not too bad in the morning. Some sunshine, but clouds starting to increase by this afternoon. Some isolated showers, thunderstorms, high 89. Tonight, some scattered showers and thunderstorms, especially later, 70 degrees. Tomorrow, a shower thunderstorm in the morning, then some sun as we get into the afternoon, 86 the high. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stitching on News Talk 760 WJR.